Hi, this video is for those teachers that are currently putting in zeros for things that aren't turned in and then have to unoverride them and change the grade once the student does put them in. Now, traditionally, we don't use what I'm about to show you because we don't like to grade things that aren't turned in. We like to put in a zero grade. However, that's becoming more and more cumbersome as this particular quarter goes on. Now, in this particular grade book, you can see that there are 3 items not turned in, and those obviously are affecting the grade. The student has a D right here, but has A's and B's on everything else. So I also have it, so one thing is dropped, which is why this one says it has a weight of 0% right now, because it's the one item that's being dropped, whereas these two have 14.09% of the grade value and are counting as zeros right now. And we can do that, but the one I'm going to show you how to do, but the one caveat I'm going to say is I don't make anything happen until after it's due. So if, for instance, this Chapter 8 skirmish was due on Tuesday, that's when I added it into this category. Until then, it didn't even show up on the grade card. So by doing it this way, I'm not having things show up right away, but I'll show you how to do it. Now, I'm going to go down to the summative category to do it down here, because right now you can see that the Chapter 8 fight, which is due actually today, is empty and counting for nothing right now. And the way I do my tests or my fights is I put them in a separate category so that if you take another one, it will only keep one grade in this category, and in this case, the fight is the only thing that's being graded. In this case, same thing, it's going to keep this one. This is extra credit that I'm giving for, in this case, taking the test on time, or a curve that I gave everyone 3 points to curve that particular test. But anyway, so I want to make it so this Chapter 8 fight costs or counts in this category no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the setup and go down and show you the Chapter 8 fight right now. I'm going to go and edit that category and say edit settings. Now, you don't see this setting right now unless you hit show more. By default, Moodle excludes any grade that's empty, and that's checked on every category every single time you put it in. And it's done that way so that if you haven't graded, it doesn't count as an F. In this case, that's what I want to happen, so that students see immediately as soon as it's past due. In this case, I'm going to do it right now because it is due today, what their grade is if they don't do that item. So I'm going to hit uncheck that and hit save, and then I'm going to go back over and show you the effect of that on that student's grade over here on this view. So now that is now graded. 100% of this category is the actual test, and there's no grade in there, which gave them a 0. Now, I have one summative thing dropping every quarter, so it just became the dropped thing, which did in fact lower his grade slightly because he doesn't have a grade in there for that test. So if I wasn't dropping one item, it would have made a huge difference on there. So some lessons here is don't do it with things in the category that are in the future, because they'll get a 0 for things that aren't there. I'm going to go back over here and basically show you what I've done. So I've got these things that are coming up that are inside fourth quarter that are hidden, but everything inside the formative section are things that are actually past due. And so inside that category, if I go and edit the settings, you can see I've gone and unchecked that. So anything a student doesn't do in this class, as soon as it's due, I put it in that category, and now it counts as a 0 until they've done the item. Again, like I said, I actually have it dropping the lowest grade, 1 grade in the formative and 1 grade in the summative category, and I did that this quarter because of everything that's going on. But as soon as I put it in that category now, it's counted against the grades. So I don't have to put in a 0, and then I don't have to take out a 0. It just is a 0. So I caution you, only do this on things that are due today or past due, so you don't accidentally give somebody a stroke. But This is one way to do it without having to go and put in grades and take out grades and put in grades and take out grades to make people know what's due. So my students automatically know, and I've emailed them all this, that whatever is showing as missing on the gradebook is missing right now, because anything that's not past due, so every Tuesday and every Thursday at the end of the teaching day, I go and put anything that was due that day in there so they immediately see the grade for that day and see the repercussions of having not done the thing for that day. So that's how to change your grading categories to count everything, even those things that aren't graded.